All right, welcome back, guys. It looks like we're going to have the shortest day of the Overwatch PIT Championships North America Group B. This is day number 4, and we're already on to match number 3. It is going to be Tempo Storm the North American team, facing off against You Guys Get Paid. I'm Jamerson, and once again with me is Hirix. Welcome back, Hirix.
Thanks, man. Definitely really excited for this one. I mean, again, just taking a quick look over at the standings, You Guys Get Paid right now at 0-4. Tempo Storm sitting in the 4th place slot, and they haven't played as many games here so far as FaZe Clan, so certainly they want to be able to secure this victory, and with it, a pretty good shot at just making it through straight to the playoffs. Again, they essentially really have to win this one, as this is probably their best opportunity to secure that second win and then put themselves in a great position to find that 4th spot in Group B. But nonetheless, they still have to contend with a team that I think is emboldened by the pickup of KSF. I think he's definitely been able to do a lot for this particular team, but I don't feel like the team as a whole is doing a lot together. It feels like KSF is definitely having a pretty solid individual performance. We've seen Beast Halo with a couple of good stuff or good plays, as well as Mr. Squishy, but as a whole, and certainly Mafa has made some plays. I mean, everybody on the roster has made some plays, but it just hasn't come together collectively. I don't think that they've been playing together as a team. They haven't been executing as well as some of these other squads have. And now with Tempo Storm coming in, they've got a couple of guys from Spicy Boys who have definitely been playing very well. I think it's 3 Spicy Boys with Tig, Cozy, and Dream Casper, and then JKW from Complexity, and then Hui and Minnie from the old Tempo Storm roster, who are now making up this squad. And coming together to try to make it their second win so far. That's basically what they're looking for here, and it is starting off on Dorado, a map that we haven't seen so far today. And looking into their history, Jamerson, Tempo Storm so far hasn't been able to win out on Dorado yet. They're 0-2 on this particular map. They've lost to LG Loyal, and they've lost to Liquid so far, whereas You Guys Get Paid also have not won on this map either. So I'm not sure. I mean, neither team very strong on this. Yeah, so this is going to break a streak either way.
But yeah, at this point, I think if Tempo Storm get this victory, there's still a chance for FaZe if they win that tiebreaker match against them, essentially. But yeah, I mean, at this point, Tempo Storm can still take this loss, and I believe still move forward if they beat FaZe tomorrow. There are a lot of different outcomes. Haven't really sat down to actually work out all the logic in that end. But starting on the defensive side, it is going to be Tempo Storm North America.
Yeah, it
Remember,
basically
they do also.
Sorry, I just want to interject real quick. It does come down, essentially, Tempo Storm has to lose this game, and then they have to also lose to FaZe to lose their spot. So if they win either one of these, they're going to be putting themselves in a pretty good position to be able to secure this. Well, actually, because it will come down to a tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, yeah.
It will come down to a tiebreaker. So at the moment, with the fact that FaZe Clan has already played that last game, if Tempo Storm loses this, will be at 1-3. So yeah, I mean, if FaZe Clan wins tomorrow, they'll be 2-3 best case scenario, and they'll have the game over Tempo Storm. But jumping into the game here, it is going to be jumping into that, switched up there a little bit, but we are going to be seeing Tig already taking that first kill there.
Yeah, they're holding up very aggressively as Beast Halo does jump on up top. He's playing expertly around that barrier of his, as Space is able to get that kill onto Cozy, but Hui trading back and forth, and now this payload slowly making progress here as the defense has not let up quite yet.
And Tig definitely putting in a lot of damage already here on the defensive side, trying to take out Psycho Waffle, and he's down to 6 HP, and looks like we are going to be seeing KSF finally take matters into his own hands and find that kill. And now You Guys Get Paid, looking for an opportunity to charge forward and take advantage of the picks that they've been able to find, but still, they've been slowed down. I mean, everybody just jumping onto the point here. You Guys Get Paid, looking to push this one forward. And now it is going to be the side of Tempo Storm here that are definitely just going to have a pretty great opportunity to just re-engage here before this point is captured. But again, a lot needs to happen for them to actually switch this one, man.
Immediately, Beast Halo jumps onto the members. We're trying to push in from the right-hand side. Mini is on the back line right here, but it's going to be KSF that gets that first kill onto JKW. And now you guys get paid, pushing forward. That's Mr. Squishy and Beast Halo both getting a 2K for themselves. They're going to be able to secure that checkpoint almost no problem whatsoever. They got 5 minutes left on the clock. They've got 3 ultimates in the bank, almost all of them actually. Almost in time for the next fight.
We'll have to see if Moffat can make a play here with the pulse bomb. Does get a stick onto Hui, and they find the kill on Mini right after. And now in a very, very good position. They're backing Tig off at the moment. KSF very healthy right now, but actually he's not going to be able to secure that. And look at the payload just still moving here. It is going to be Beast Halo on this one, as the rest of you guys get paid is very aggressive. Already controlling high ground with the soldier up top as well. Space just up top here and looking to control this. And I mean, you guys get paid looking like a much better team here on this particular map up against Tempo Storm, who again haven't really looked too good on this in the past.
We have both defensive ultis actually getting popped on the side of you guys get paid, and while it is paying off so far, we got the tactical visor even getting committed by Space here as he does try to help clean up Dreamcast, but it's going to be Mr. Squishy that gets that kill. And we do have Kosi on the top line. He's going to get focused down by Beast Halo. There we go. He's on the hunt for that, gets that kill, and now Tempo Storm just making great time here, going largely uncontested here on the streets portion. And so far, Tempo Storm, their defense has been very lacking, as we do have, looks like it's going to be Mini jumping in with that Primal Rage. JKW not able to use that sound barrier. They're just getting cleaned up one by one by one. This is looking like Rogue in the last match.
I'm not sure what Tempo Storm is doing here at all. I mean, we've seen some huge mistakes coming out from you guys get paid. I mean, using both support ultimates when they didn't have to, and still no punishment coming out on that next fight. They weren't able to get aggressive, and you know, now they're just getting backed up into their spawn. Just under 5 minutes in the time bank here, and they haven't really done anything yet. They haven't won a single fight so far. Hui taken down very early on already once again here, as Moffat's able to find that kill. And Tig now with the Nano Blade looking to turn things around here, and that's going to be the main story here. If Mr. Squishy actually is going to be taken out, and he actually is going to be dropped by Tig, who's now battling back, trying to get himself into a position where he can deal with KSF, and that's not going to be the case. And Tempo Storm, while they did look good initially here, Jamerson, I mean, are they going to be able to hold on here?
Yeah, Dream is trying to contest the payload for now. It is continuing to be pushed forward. KSF will finally back off, and Tempo Storm letting off the gas just a little bit. They're going to regroup. They've gained the high ground here, and this is the opportunity on the side of, on the side of Tempo Storm for them to try and regain their footing. But still, we have Moffat trying to get into the back line with that Tracer. He's actually pushing the payload. No one's contesting it quite yet.
We haven't seen too many fights actually start up where Tempo Storm isn't 5v6, and we do see Hui with a great opportunity to deal with the Tracer, but just body shots him instead of getting that free headshot off of the flashbang. Nonetheless, Tempo Storm looking for a nice stun coming out there from Hui to shut down that Dragon Blade, and now it does get pulled out once again. And actually here, KSF getting pushed off of that high ground, and he's not able to find that kill, and Hui should be able to deal with Beast Halo, but he's actually going to get dropped.
Yeah, Primal Rage getting committed by Beast Halo. Now 3 minutes left on the clock. It's just about 10 meters away from completing. Diva tries to jump on. Tig will get on there. JKW immediately gets cleaned up. Tig out of his mech now. It's going to be Moffat that finishes off that kill. Once again, Mini, he's got that Primal Rage, trying to keep this alive. You got to stay on the point. We've got the hot Deadeye coming out, but KSF with the deflect kill onto him, finishing it off. And Tempo Storm, they're just never able to mount a defense. I mean, they finally regained their footing once it got to that final bend, but it just fell apart once again for them. And with 3 minutes left in the time bank for you guys get paid, that was a great push for them.
And as you know, the first part of this map is that payload style. I mean, that extra time is really going to mean a lot. It's not about trying to get a control point and then maybe you can get a good defense or something like that to be able to secure a draw or something like battling back after a first point attack. You know, since they have a lot of time to work with, that's definitely going to put them in a great position to win this one out. And a lot could be said about what was lacking with Tempo Storm there. I mean, just really poor execution, not really doing good individually. I mean, Hui with a couple of opportunities to deal with some of these guys on McCree and just didn't find those kills when he really should have. I mean, flashbangs onto Tracers where he's just body shotting after. And then on top of that, we also saw Hui taken out quite often before the fight even started. Dream Casper was in a similar situation towards the end there when Hui was actually getting back on track, it was Dreamcasper who fouled out, and then they were 5v6 a lot of these fights before they even got to engage in, and that's a huge problem for them, I think. Now going over to their attacking side, they get to control the pacing of the engagement here, so, I mean, certainly things should look better for them. But, again, I mean, KSF is really the only thing they've changed so far with this roster. I mean, obviously they changed Beast Halo out as well over Harry Butcher, but I mean, I think the biggest standout thing about this roster is KSF's performance as a player, as an individual, since joining You Guys Get Paid, and it's a big reason why I think they're able to contend with Tempo Storm, who are, I mean, really underperforming in my opinion right now, especially from what we know of what their capacity is to play together. I think they're largely underperforming so far.
Yeah, and so we're just seeing the dive compositions coming out once again. It's going to be Hui on the 76 as Mini immediately jumps onto that payload. Kosi gets that kill onto Beast Halo, who was a little bit too far up on that defense. Now the high ground is starting to fall back just a little bit, giving space on over Tempo Storm, but Tig jumps on in, getting the resets with that Swift Strike. Both Mr. Squishy and Space going to go down. Kosi even coming in that team fight. Wow, great first team fight coming out from Tempo Storm.
And now they're pushing forward pretty well here, and obviously they want to set a very similar pace so that they can get a lot of time going, you know, and it's really going to come down to their ability to execute properly on this side, because on their defensive side they definitely did not manage to do that. And both sides operating with the Zenyatta at the moment. Cozy with a little bit of an advantage in terms of positioning, and Tig actually forced to fall back to try to get some healing, and he's about to get aggressive here, looking for an opportunity. He needs to actually contend with some of these guys in the back line, and he is going for them, and they do find a couple of kills, but still, kills on both sides actually as KSF finds some of his own, and he actually does finish off Tig.
But yeah, Casper's still alive here, along with JKW on the point as KSF tries to take that 2v1, but Zyko Waffle, the last one there, will fall down. Now they will get point A just about the same time as You Guys Get Paid on their offense. But now taking a look at this, Tempo Storm playing this a little bit more differently. They did have the long spawns coming out from their respawner, so they have to wait a little bit longer to actually try to gain that high ground. That's going to buy You Guys Get Paid the time to actually get up onto the courthouse themselves.
We will see Casper just getting into this high ground area where he is going to be able to jump on with the rest of the dive composition here, the Genji and the Winston. And we do see the pulse bomb coming out. He's going to be able to find the kill onto KSF, which I actually like because KSF is a huge, huge factor in these fights here. To be able to eliminate him is big, but a lot of ults coming out from both sides as it looks like You Guys Get Paid is going to be able to hold on. And a lot of that certainly comes out from both Cozy, sorry, not Cozy, Mr. Squishy and Beast Halo, but now with Tig actually coming back into it, it seems like they're going to be able to hold on here. They already found a couple of kills, just pushing this one forward. We see KSF pulling out the Dragon Blade, looking for some kills himself. JKW actually going to be taken out by the Dragon Blade. KSF somehow hanging on with a nice dash through Tig, finding that kill onto KSF.
Yep, we're seeing the difference in defenses so far coming out from both teams. At this point, You Guys Get Paid. They were able to just get all the stragglers who were coming in one by one on the defense when Tempo Storm were defending. This time, though, on the side of You Guys Get Paid, they were going for that full 6-man team fight, as we do have the tactical visor getting popped by Mr. Space, but Mini's going to jump right on top of that. He's got that projected barrier to try and mitigate as much damage as he can in the back line. Kosi gets that kill onto KSF. Now Space, 2 for 1. That's the value Helix Rocket coming in. That's going to keep the team fight alive as Mr. Squishy pushes forward. Even the support's getting in on this fight.
And now JKW going to be eliminated as well. And with it pretty close to that second objective, they do manage to get that defense going. And high ground now certainly favoring You Guys Get Paid here, as they're going to be able to take advantage of that with the soldier. And it's going to be up to Tig to try to contest that. Yuma Hubi with that tactical visor ready to go. I imagine he's going to try to get up the stairs at the moment. But maybe, yeah, he is going to go up the stairs, and we'll have that tactical visor once again here, and Tig's going to be able to protect him if they decide to go with that play. We'll have to see if the tactical visor is going to be able to do enough here. KSF are going to go with the deflect, actually taken out, but still we see the Transcendence popped here to try to help out Beast Halo, who is going to be more than likely able to find the kill on Yuma Hui, and he actually does indeed find that.
And unfortunately, that push just not quite working out for them. Moffat jumped in with that pulse bomb, really spread them apart. That allowed Beast Halo to jump in there and just start focusing down targets. And even the tactical visor getting shut down, Yuma Hui wasn't able to do much with it. I believe he only got 1 kill off of that before the team fight went south for Tempo Storm there. Now the high ground, once again, Dream Casper has to be careful. He is trying to push up with that Tracer. He goes in for the pulse bomb. It's going to connect onto a wall. And now Mini, once again, jumps on top of Space. He's got that Primal Rage. Tig is going to actually follow suit with the Dragon Blade. And now the resets, are they going to be there for Tig as he picks up a second kill, taking out Mr. Squishy? Transcendence does get popped by Kosi, just a cautionary one. They want to make sure they don't lose this team fight as they are starting to clean up. Psycho Waffle goes on down. Now there's only 2 members. Moffat tries to keep it alive with the Tracer, but he will get cleaned up. Mini with that Tesla cannon will finish him off, and now they are starting to push forward, try to catch out anyone who is going to try to go for this last minute contest. But here we go. Beast Halo comes in. KSF with that Dragon Blade. Sound Barrier does get popped by JKW. Tactical Visor comes out from Space. Is he going to find any kills with it? It's going to be Mr. Squishy that takes out JKW, and there we go. Finally pushing forward. He's got to be careful. He does have the Orb of Discord on him, but he will get cleaned up. There we go. You guys get paid, finally holding on to this payload. And it was about a meter away before they were able to contest there. So that was very close for them.
And Mini actually was in a pretty horrible position there. I mean, he was trying to jump forward and push them away, but a really good engage coming back from You Guys Get Paid with that Tac Visor coming out. And with the damage that they did to Mini, they forced him away from the rest of his team so he could try to find cover. And they were able to just clean up with the Tac Visor because the rest of the team just had nothing in front of them to protect them at all.
Yeah, and Space, once again, starting it off, taking out Mini. KSF coming up with a double. Tig tries to keep this competitive, but I'm sorry, that's a 4-for-1 trade as Dream Casper does get the kill onto Squishy, but he goes down immediately for his efforts, and now it's coming down to the final push on the side of Tempo Storm. And they're gonna have a blade, hopefully. Casper, if he can open things up with a pulse bomb, would be huge, but he hasn't been able to connect him quite yet.
And it's going to come down to this. I mean, Mr. Squishy does have that Transcendence ready, and we'll have to see if that finds value as they have both support ults. Actually, Psycho Waffle almost kind of forced to use his ult, but they're going to be able to time that one out more than likely. But still, they engage on top of it. And I don't know why they did that. They had the opportunity to just go in and just have someone on the point. Tig going to be able to slice through Space, but still, I mean, it's just Dream Casper left, I think, and they should be able to find that kill. Pulse Bomb going to be able to come out, and he's at 20 HP with no recall. That's going to be that. And we do see overtime ticking down. That's going to be You Guys Get Paid, taking the match 3-1 here on Dorado and going 1-0 on the set.
Yeah, the offense on the side of Tempo Storm looking largely disjointed. Mini always jumping in first. He didn't have the backup of Tig immediately right on after. Tig would actually come in maybe a second or two. And at that point, a second is a large amount of time in Overwatch when the DPSs are just focusing you down. And Mini just was not able to be impactful while Beast Halo was continually just sitting on top of Tig along with JKW and Kosi. Like, they were largely shutting down the offense off the back of Beast Halo and Mini just getting out of position way too early.
Yeah, and we saw here in the play of the game exactly what I was talking about before with Mini popping his barrier just to try to create the space for the rest of his team. They just basically avoided that pressure, waited for the barrier out, found the damage on it as well, and then they pushed through. So he didn't have any options anymore. He didn't have the barrier. He couldn't really body block because he was low from contesting essentially solo. And then the rest of his team had nowhere to go to be able to actually get away from that tactical visor. So good stuff from Space, and kind of a little bit of a mistake there on the part of Tempo Storm, who not only their attack, but on their defense actually looked, I would say, kind of largely disappointing, at least so far. But obviously some really great play from You Guys Get Paid, who I think, again, have been emboldened by the roster swaps. I think KSF has definitely come in and really kind of picked the team up a little bit. They're certainly performing better in my eyes. And now we will move into King's Row. And I think it's going to be Tempo Storm actually going to be starting things off here on the attack.
And yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the head there. KSF, a large playmaker on the side of You Guys Get Paid continually. Every time he had those Dragon Blades, he was finding the resets left and right, applying pressure onto the right targets. I believe it was it Hui who was playing Soldier on the side of Tempo Storm?
Yeah, he made a couple of swaps, though. I mean, he was going between the Soldier and the McCree and making a lot of different swaps. But yeah, it was, for the most part, it was Huey on the Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, KSF just gave him no space at all whatsoever. He was just continually on them. And then also even the supports, they just did not have the defensive backline to try and deal with it. And so now we are seeing, looks like a little bit of a swap off coming on the side of the offense on Tempo Storm. Yumas Hui hovering over that Zarya so that projected barrier can come up huge as the pressure has been pretty much unrelenting on the side of You Guys Get Paid. But now they are pulling out this triple tank defense, and it's going to be Moffat, their solo DPS, picking up that tracer there. So vastly different composition coming out from them here.
Interesting that they're going to be pulling this one out. I'm very used to seeing, I mean, both sides actually going with something that I would say would be kind of unexpected in terms of what is the meta, I guess. But we've seen Space on this particular character. I'm used to seeing him more actually on the Zarya, but this is really kind of where he plays the best, I think, is in this flex role. But they're gonna be going with a triple tank, going with Moffat actually on the Tracer, and then 2-2-2 with Hui on the Zarya right now for the side of Tempo Storm, as they're looking to go ahead and start their attack. And obviously, in terms of what we expect here on King's Row, both teams going with something that's, I guess, less than traditional, you know?
Yeah, Reinhardt's being busted out immediately. For the majority, we've been seeing a hook coming in. Hui does have that barrier to keep himself alive. He will be able to back away. Mini getting some great swings off. Does pick up some ultimate charge, but Beast Halo is already sitting on 30 right now. Now they are on to the point, our Tempo Storm, as they have wrapped around the backhand side on the side of You Guys Get Paid, but they have lost Moffat. Their charge comes out from Mini. He doesn't quite connect it. The Reinhardt's just swinging on top of each other. JKW gets the kill onto Beast Halo as Dream Casper takes out that Lucio. Now things coming up in favor of Tempo Storm. Looks like it's going to be an easy point A take for them.
And they definitely dominate this first point as they're rushing forward. And they have a lot of ults moving forward as well. And Space actually is going to be moving over to that Zarya that we talked about. And Hui now with a lot of charge. It's going to be up to Space to try to kind of close that gap a little bit. And that's going to be a tough task, as Hui already at 80% ult charge, basically at the same amount of energy as well. And he will be pretty close to that Graviton here in this next one. Space looking for some energy for himself, but not going to be able to find a whole lot so far, as a lot of damage gets reflected back there, and that's from Tig, actually. He does have that Dragon Blade at the ready, and I imagine they're going to try to want to make the most of that. He does pull it out, though.
Nano Blade as Casper tried to get the Deadeye from the high ground there, but it got largely eaten up, and even taking the 1v1 versus KSF, Dream Casper finally does fall, though, after de-meching him, and unfortunately they weren't able to get much off of that Nano Blade, and now You Guys Get Paid, holding down on the defense. They're starting to push forward towards the spawn, gets that last staggered kill onto JKW.
They're pushed very far forward here. Jamerson just looking for an extra little bit of damage. Moffat in a great position if he had a pulse bomb, but not going to be able to have that. We'll have to see if maybe they'll be able to punish his positioning. That's not going to be the case. They actually don't even look at him at all. Graviton going to be coming out, and we see a lot of players inside of it. Tig going to be dashing through that, and he's going to be able to find a couple of kills here to start things off.
Beast Halo does trade away for 2 before the rest of his team do finally get cleaned up here. Moffat just trying his best to stall that payload, but they will go down. Man. It looks like they don't really need that many ultimates to try and win the fight. I mean, in the one before, I believe it was the Nano Blade along with the Deadeye that went largely shut down, but now they are starting to make headway with this payload. But You Guys Get Paid will have another opportunity to try and defend. They are making their way out of the foundry. Now Moffat trying to find an opening to get into the backline, as we do have that self-destruct coming out, but Tempo Storm do back away. It's going to be Casper that's able to get that kill onto Moffat, and now Earthshatter comes out. Beast Halo does not connect it, as Casper is going to go ahead and proc that Deadeye, but once again KSF in the back trying to eat that up with the defense matrix, as the sound barrier is popped on the side of You Guys Get Paid, but still the team fight going in favor of Tempo Storm, as Mini is just able to swing on the majority of them, takes them all out. It's pretty much a clean team fight coming out from them. Moffat once again trying to delay on the payload. He will back away with that recall.
Moffat down very, very low here. Does manage to get away, gets that healing there from Mr. Squishy as well as Psycho Waffle, and Mr. Squishy now with that nano boost going to be ready to use that for the next fight, and they're going to want that because that Graviton's coming up right now, but they might not have to even use that, as Moffat's going to look for an opportunity to go ahead and find a kill with the pulse bomb, but that's not going to even occur. Did Spaces get eaten up? No, it couldn't have. There's no diva, so yeah, never mind.
No, and so now
no value with it at all.
3v1 team fight. Yeah, they were looking for that Big Bong combo with the Pulse Bomb along with the Graviton. Unfortunately, it just did not connect in a good position. I think only about 2 people were caught in that Graviton surge, and that's just not the prime target. You want to be able to get that decisive 5-man, 6-man Pulse Bomb coming out. Still, now take a look at the positioning. Graviton Surge comes out from YGGP, and we've got the Blade behind it too, as Casper is going to be able to get that kill. Tig pushing into the spawn. He's right outside the spawn window there. Now we do have Casper. He's got the Deadeye just to zone out any final remembers trying to come in for that contest. But now take a look at that. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock as Tempo Storm complete out King's Row here.
So at the very least, they are going to have a pretty good opportunity to get at least 4 points on the board here. So, I mean, definitely looking solid for them as they're looking to turn things back around after a pretty rocky performance, I would say, on Dorado to start things off. But, you know, moving on to King's Row here, I definitely think it's looking a lot better for them. But obviously with you guys get paid, I mean, their big thing was that they looked great on the attacking side. And we have to remember yesterday, you guys get paid was able to beat out Liquid on King's Row. So, you know, at the moment, this is not down and out quite yet for you guys get paid. They definitely have a very, very good opportunity here to get back into this one and make just as good of a push, if not even better, as that's certainly possible as well, due to the fact that the defense from the side of Tempo Storm just wasn't that great. But I think they certainly play a lot better on that triple tank setup, which they are more than likely going to use again, and that is going to be the case. Tig actually on the Roadhog right now with Hui going back over to the Zarya definitely looked a lot better for them as they're going to go for a traditional triple tank. And the dive comp coming out here from you guys get paid will have to contend with that triple tank setup. And again, a lot is basically going to come down to Tig landing those hooks, creating those 6v5 situations, and basically just shutting down the Winston here of Beast Halo. If he can do that, if Tig can make sure that he's everywhere that Beast Halo is and just getting that real quick just shot, hook, shot kind of setup, then they're going to be in a great position. But KSF actually, he's going to go over to the Roadhog of his own. So this is a 2-2-2 that you don't see all too often at all, with the Zenyatta coming out from Mr. Squishy as well. But okay, he's gonna go back over to the Genji. He's just messing with me right now.
Yeah, but the nice thing on the side of Tempo Storm for their defense, Mini, he is on that Reinhardt, and there's no Reinhardt on the opposite end to try and contest with that quite yet. So as long as he can work the timing around the barrier coming out from Beast Halo, he should be able to land some meaty Earth Shatters, as we do see currently you guys get paid trying to control the high ground. They have wrapped around the stairs, and now they are making their way on up. Dream Casper is going to have to be careful in that position as they are on the hunt for him.
And they are going to go ahead and try to jump right for him. He's going to drop out of that window, and they're pulling back around. This is really good way to just pull away, disengage from this, and we do see KSF jumping in, taking some early damage here. Mr. Squishy going to be taken out as Dreamcaster is going to be able to find 2 kills already here.
Yeah, this is the thing you have to worry about. When you go for that high ground push, you have to make sure that your supports are in the proper positioning. Dreamcaster was able to wrap all the way back around after dropping down from there, but Moffat lands a pulse bomb onto Minis, and now they are fighting right on back into this. Hui facing off against Moffat. He's got to be careful. Projector barriers will keep him alive for now, but KSM finally gets that kill onto Dreamcaster, who was off on his own island there, really getting caught off from the rest of his team. And though things opened up well for Tempo Storm, their defense started falling apart.
And now both teams unable to do anything really on that first point, despite the fact that I think Tempo Storm playing a little bit better of a composition for themselves. But now with this arch defense that's going to come out here, Dreamcasper already with a kill here with that Helix Rocket onto Moffat, shutting him down. That's definitely big. And now they're going to be able to jump forward. Sleep Dart almost hitting that Winston there, and if they would have been able to get that, that would have secured a lot more time off the clock here for their arch defense that is going to come up.
All right, so Casper, he's almost got that nano visor at the ready. They just want to go ahead and push up for that. But now here we go. He's going to go ahead and pop that as they push forward. He's got that nano visor. He is going to be able to get that kill onto Mr. Squishy. He's completely in the back line, picks up a 3rd kill. That's a 4th as he completes that out. He even gets the emote out there. And yeah, great hold so far. They didn't have to commit too much to it. That buys enough time for Hui to actually build up that Graviton Surge. He's sitting at 93% right now. And all the high impact ultimates coming online on the side of Tempo Storm for this defense.
The thing is that they have the Transcendence, so it's going to basically be down to Cozy to make sure that he lands that Biotic Grenade for them to actually secure some kills here. And already we are going to be seeing Space go with that Tactical Visor. The rest of this defense is actually spread out, so they're not going to be able to secure anything off of that Graviton Surge. Or sorry, it did not come out at all, actually, but nonetheless, you guys get paid. Going to be able to battle back and secure this fight here. Again, that Graviton Surge was not put down, and Tig still maintaining that whole hog as well. So they still have that option if they want to use that together. KSF with the Dragon Blade there, and Psycho Waffle coming up pretty soon with that Sound Barrier. That's going to mean a lot for them to secure this second objective, but they're going to have to work through not only a Graviton Surge, but also likely an Earth Shatter. So two very hard control ults, and Space somehow avoiding that damage there, but still going to be taken out.
Now KSF does have that Dragon Blade as he does push forward. Now with that Graviton Surge, they were able to clean up 3 kills in the back line here. So despite you guys get paid trying to push forward with their ultimate, they got shut down immediately. So great job by Yumasui just pushing right into the back line there for that.
A lot better on the defensive side here from Tempo Storm as opposed to what we saw on Dorado. And now the question is you guys get paid, are they going to be able to, you know, kind of get their footing once again and be able to push back into this? Tig with a nice hook actually to start things off here on the side of Tempo Storm, and he's actually going to get pressured once again. He has that Discord on him, almost takes out Psycho Waffle with one shot, but is going to be falling to that primary fire that comes out, and KSF backed off at the moment. Tempo Storm once again in a pretty good position defensively, just taking time away here from you guys get paid.
Yeah, they had to commit a lot of resources to try and just take down Tig himself. It came down to a 3v1 while Tempo Storm were cleaning up. Now we do have the Sound Barrier coming out. Earth Shatter lands only onto Moffat, and Minnie's not able to follow up on that as the Transcendence does come out from Mr. Squishy. Cozy and Hui just the only ones on this payload to try and contest, but Cozy is starting to get focused down. Hui will fall, and there we go. Looks like the offense starting to finally make some headway with this, as Casper is going to try and contest himself, but he will get cleaned up, and that should be you guys get paid. Securing the checkpoint, no. Minnie's going to go ahead and charge right on in, but he's starting to get focused down. He's got that Orb of Discord on him. Now it's on to JKW. The point will get captured on the side of you guys get paid.
And Tig actually just floating back, does manage to get to the health pack, get himself a heal, and also some damage off on KSF as well. And Moffat once again picked off. That's going to be Tig finding that kill again here. And he's been doing a great job on this Roadhog, just shutting down some of the aggression that's been coming out from you guys get paid. And now Manny once again getting himself back into position. They're trying to take advantage of the 6v5 that has been created there by the Roadhog of Tig, but it's not going to be the case. They just didn't have the positioning to work with to be able to pull that off. Beast Halo jumping straight in, gonna be eliminated very quickly. He was hoping to get a reset from that Primal Rage, but that was not gonna be the case at all, as he gets taken out very quickly there.
Yeah, he was not expecting a whole hog to the face, just jumping in like that. Now, huge power spike coming online on the side of you guys get paid. They've got 4 ultimates in tow. They don't have any support ultimates, but if they take a decisive enough team fight, they're not going to need them. Payload is getting pushed forward right now. Beast Halo does have that high ground position, getting ready to just jump onto the back line of Tempo Storm.
Now they're jumping forward. Dragon Blade at the ready here for KSF, looking for an opportunity to get the use out of that. He does pull it off. Mr. Squishy does have Transcendence as well. They find 2 kills. They had to use a lot to actually get to this point though, and now Dreamcasper with an ult of his own, as he's looking for that opportunity to find some kills, but really they haven't been able, they actually do find 2 kills, make it 3, and they should find Beast Halo, so they back these guys up once again, and with not a lot of time left on the clock, Tempo Storm looking to tie this one up.
Yeah, they had to use so many ultimates there on the side of you guys get paid, and just got shut down. That Yumasui was able to land a 2-man Graviton, followed up by Tig just going in with the regular fire, landing those headshots. Whole hog comes out from him. The charge and the sleep lands onto Tig. He will be put down for now, but Beast Halo not able to connect with that charge. He's gonna get cleaned up here as the spawn camp is starting to come out on the side of Tempo Storm.
And they're gonna back up, but they're gonna be backing up with Minnie's Earth Shatter in tow and ready to go, so they're definitely trying to make the most out of that. Ooh, Sleep Dart coming out, but blocked there by Minnie as he sees that one coming. He's trying to look for a position to get himself behind Beast Halo. He does go for the charge, but gonna go right through actually, and he's not gonna be able to find anything, but Dreamcasper sure is, and he's gonna find 3 with a Tactical Visor right there.
Yeah, and they're almost pulling off the full selfless treatment. So that's going to go ahead and make you guys get paid to push from pipes here. Now, remember, this is their final opportunity. 27 seconds left on the clock, but this defensive hold coming out, they've got their 2 huge CC ultimates ready at the go as Hui is able to land a 3-man, 4-man Graviton Surge. The follow-up isn't quite there as the sound barrier kept them alive for the moment, but now they are on the payload. You guys get paid to try and keep this alive. 8 seconds left on the clock as KSF finds that kill onto Casper.
And now they're going to be contending with Tig, trying to take him out. He's healing next to the point, going to get very low and actually eliminated there by Moffat. And now it's in overtime here, and they need this point here to try to stay alive, but they are all on the point, and they are going to be all in good position here. Minnie's barrier getting very, very low. He still has that opportunity to go for the Earth Shatter. He's going to be trying to use it now.
Halo's gonna drop his own and connects with that charge as Mini goes for his own, and now Casper with that tactical visor cleans up 2. Without it, that's 2 more, and they will finish out this map. So now it is gonna be 1-1 here, and we're going to map number 3 between Tempo Storm, and you guys get paid.
And a lot closer than I would have anticipated, and I think Tempo Storm looked a lot more like what I expected out of this matchup on that map there, but now going into the next one, which is going to be Ilios, which is what Psycho Waffle just said there in chat. You know, that's kind of interesting in my opinion, because they almost took it to Game 5 up against Rogue, and now we're going to be seeing a potential upset actually, where, I mean, if they perform well on this map, then they'll be able to take down a team that's trying to trying to secure their spot in the playoffs. And again, if we just head over to the standings real quick, just to kind of just grasp at the importance of this particular matchup, Tempo Storm right now, they essentially, if they lose this game, they'll be tied up with FaZe Clan. Now tomorrow, they are going to play FaZe Clan. So whoever wins that matchup, if Tempo Storm loses, you know, they'll be then stuck in a situation where they're going to be going to the bottom, and they'll be tied at 1-4 if they lose both of those games, with you guys get paid. And then of course FaZe Clan will move forward at 2-3. But now if they lose this game, I mean, essentially Tempo Storm has to win this game for sure. But then if they win this game, they will then be at 2-2. And then facing off against FaZe Clan, they will go to 2-3 if FaZe Clan wins. And then with FaZe Clan winning that tiebreaker between the 2 teams, then that will, unless it goes to map score, I think it does actually go to map score at that point. So we'll have to see how that adds up. But going into this last match here, it is, let me go ahead and make sure that the teams are on the right side. And of course they're not. So let me switch things up really quick for you guys, and then we'll jump right in. So again, I mean, obviously with this matchup, a lot is riding on this. So obviously, I mean, Tempo Storm literally has to win this if they want to make it through. Basically, you guys get paid in a position right now while they're not going to be able to make it through to the playoffs at all, they could basically determine if FaZe has a shot going into tomorrow. I mean, that's what it's, or a really solid shot going into tomorrow. But either way, a lot's riding here for Tempo Storm, and it looks like we're going to be seeing here, starting off with Hui on the Pharah, going with that Pharah Mercy, and Dreamcasper at the moment is on a Reaper.
I don't think it's going to happen.
He might. I think he's going to go over the Tracer. It's just too integral to the comp. But I mean, it also really wouldn't surprise me if they just want to deal with Beast Halo. But again, I just think on this particular map, Roadhog would even be better in this particular situation. But he is going to go over to that Tracer. If you wanted to go with a Reaper, I think Roadhog would just work better. But going over the Tracer, again, is just too pivotal for the composition.
Yeah, we have nearly mirrored compositions, but on the side of Tempo Storm, it's going to be Tig on that Genji, while Space is actually picking up the D.Va here. So a little bit of a difference coming out, as there was a direct landing onto Hui, and he's going to be able to get that kill onto Halo, though. So now, nice body shot onto Squishy, takes out that Mercy, and so 2-man advantage in favor of Tempo Storm here on Well.
KSF is going to be dealt with inside of the well as well. Psycho Waffle almost pushed off here, as Hui's just trying to deal with that kill as well. And it is going to be Tempo Storm with an early first cap here, starting things off.
Right, so unfortunately, space on this Diva will get demec'd, and he will be able to actually run back to spawn, swap off, and then come back on. But he will be losing his ultimate charge. So I don't know actually if he built up much in the first place, but still, I guess it's better just have your mech at this point and fight into that. Now, we do have the pulse bomb at the ready for Casper. He does need to get healed up though. He's at half health right now. Cozy waiting with that resurrect in hand, and there we go. Once again, Hui just focusing down the opposite Mercy as Mini does go down, but still it's a 2-for-1 trade. Make that a 3-for-1, largely in favor of Tempo Storm.
We will see Dreamcasper coming up with a lot of kills as well, and Tempo Storm is dominating so far here on Ilios. And remember, this is up against a team that almost took it to Game 5, or I guess a Round 5, up against Rogue just in the last matchup, in the last series that we saw. So we will see here on Well. I mean, so far we haven't seen you guys get paid with a really good showing so far in this map, so maybe that's just an indicator of their performance on this map rather than the actual matchup itself. But nonetheless, KSF finding some kills there, and it looks as though you guys get paid, finally showing up with some life on this one. And Hui actually trying to deal with KSF. He is going to be dealt with there, as Squishy actually looking for an opportunity to try to even things out, as Cozy actually already pulled out the res there. And again, Tempo Storm hanging on here, it looks like.
Yeah, that Tempo res basically working out for Tempo Storm so far. Waffle just stuck inside the well. He's going to be able to emerge with that sound barrier, and that's going to sign the aggression coming out as JKW gets taken out before he can use his own sound barrier. But once again, Hui, along with Cozy, just in the air, haven't been dealt with quite yet. And Hui's been landing some really good directs. Finally, KSF getting that kill onto Casper might swing this team fight in favor, but already we're in overtime. They need to secure this, and they will be able to finally get that, as Hui is just going to go ahead and join the respawn queue, dropping down into the well there.
JKW really needed to get that sound barrier out there. He just waited a little bit too long, I think. If they would have been able to get that, then he would have been able to stay alive, and they probably would have been able to hold that fight out, and it should have gone 100-0 in their favor. But wait a little bit too long, and because of that little hesitation, he wasn't able to secure that ult for the team, wasn't able to get that support out, and fell a little bit earlier than he had probably wanted, obviously. Nonetheless, he does have it for this one, so maybe they can go ahead and use that to their advantage here. But KSF already finding a kill on Tig, as well as JKW. KSF all over the board here.
Yeah, Cozy just accepts his fate, falls to that self-destruct coming out from space, and at this point I think that's fine on the side of Tempo Storm. Just try to go for a few dry runs, bait out some of those ultimates, but still a lot of time on the board at this point for you guys get paid to try and close out this first map. And on the side of Tempo Storm, all they've got to work with so far is that sound barrier. Cozy is getting closer to that resurrection, but Casper getting caught out by Moffat. Moffat finally able to take up that heads-up battle against him in that Tracer v Tracer.
Yeah, and this is obviously a bad situation to be in if you're Tempo Storm, because you really want to be able to dominate this matchup so that you can move into tomorrow with a pretty good shot. But now seeing them battle up against Cozy here, I mean, Cozy right now getting down pretty low against KSF, and we do see both Mercies with that resurrect, and it will come down to what is going to be a single fight here. And finally, JKW pulling out the sound barrier. Psycho Waffle forced to actually pull out one of his own, and he's going to get eliminated almost immediately, and now it's a 5v5 on the point here.
Oh, Cozy going down, no resurrect on the board, so now it's going to be a 6v3. KSF popping that barrage, will clean up Mini there, or excuse me, JKW, and things looking all in favor of you guys get paid to take the first point. Overtime ticking away, no one even close to try and contest. Real back and forth affair there between the two teams, but you guys get paid, opening up with the opening volley here on the first map of Ilios.
And this was their worst map up against Rogue, and now moving into Ruins here. You know, they got close a couple of times, but or they got close-ish. The first one was 100-44, so not really that close, but they were able to win out that first fight. And against a team like Rogue, I mean, that's definitely good for the team, I think, as a whole. Now Dreamcasper is going to be going over to the Widow, and the question is he going to be giving mostly the same performance as what AKM was able to do? And again, a lot can be said about what you guys get paid was able to pull off, just basically shutting out sightlines from AKM. Now Dreamcasper is going to have an opportunity to try to find some of his own, We'll have to see if you guys get paid is actually going to, you know, make the same plays, or if they're just going to let the Widowmaker just come alive here from Dreamcasper.
Yeah, they were expecting the Widowmaker, so they're playing the sightlines quite well on the side of you guys get paid, just pushing in from the inside Ruins portion, but Mini getting that first kill onto Space. Beast Halo even dropping low. It's going to be Hui that finishes him off, and the first team fight once again going largely in favor of Tempo Storm here as they are onto the point, trying to focus down Mr. Squishy here in the back line. He will go down immediately, and now it's all just Psycho Waffle to try and contest, but he will go down to Tig. And once again, it's going to be Tempo Storm starting it off here on Ruins.
That's bad news. Certainly if you guys get paid, but obviously they have shown their potential to battle back, and they did it with a clean revival of a 99-0 straight to 100. Dreamcasper with a pick there onto Moffat. That's going to set Tempo Storm up nicely for a 6v5 here, and basically you guys get paid is going to have to pull back and essentially just wait for that regroup.
Yeah, KSF does catch out Tig just a little bit, but he'll be able to recall out of trouble there. And now you guys get paid are pushing in once again, trying to avoid that Widowmaker. Casper, though, hasn't been spotted out quite yet. KSF in the back line. He does not get the deflect. It's going to be Casper that gets the kill onto him. That's a 2-for-1 trade, as JKW was the only one going down. And Casper once again opening up with that headshot, taking out Space, going uncontested. Finally, it's going to be Psycho Waffle. Once again, it's the Lucios that are able to get the kill onto the Widowmakers, apparently.
But still, I mean, even though he got that kill, it didn't really amount to anything, because now he's in the back. He's going to be contested, and they should be able to find that kill as well. And now he's just giving up a late staggered kill, which is hurting them more than it's helping them, because Dreamcasper is already back in position. And again, it didn't really amount to anything, because that pick didn't lead to any advantages in the actual matchup, because the rest of his team was already dead.
Yeah, Moffat trying to make his way on the outside here, and it has to be someone other than Nevermind. Tig going in, takes out Beast Halo. Casper's just gonna get free reign in the back. There's Hui starting to get the resets, 2 kills down. KSF and Moffat are just gonna go ahead and reset. Man, Casper has been putting in so much work. He's such a huge threat on this Widowmaker so far. No one's actually really dealt with him aside from Psycho Waffle once, but like you had mentioned, Heroix, you don't want your Lucio all the way in the back there to try and deal with the Widow.
Yeah, because then he's not supporting anybody, and then it's just a weird 1v1 that's happening. And nonetheless, we are going to be seeing JKW pulling out the sound barrier right into Mr. Squishy, who did use that Transcendence. Ultimates coming out from both sides. This is really the last opportunity here for you guys to get paid to try to find these kills, and the Dragon Blade coming out for onto Dreamcasper as they do find those kills. Now trading 2 for 2, and they need to find the Zenyatta kill as Cozy put in a bad position, but so is KSF as he gets eliminated. Hui finding that kill.
Yeah, they're trying to focus down Psycho Waffle, but they bought enough time for that sound barrier to come out. Overtime ticking away right now. JKW getting focused down by Beast Halo on the point. He'll be able to boop and kite away for now, but now Moffat is on there to help him out, but still that's bought enough time for the respawns on the side of Tempo Storm. But Mini trying to keep this alive. He's got that Primal Rage, batting them around. Kills going mostly in favor of you guys get paid, though, as KSF has swapped off on to the Widowmaker himself. Casper was able to get that final kill onto Space, but the point did finally get flipped on over in favor of you guys got paid.
So now it's going to be a Widow v Widow, and this is the same situation we saw last time with Tempo Storm losing control at the very end, and then you guys get paid just battling back through and finding the victory in the very end. But we'll have to see if maybe this swap is what they needed to be able to do just the same here on Ruins.
Yeah, KSF, though, is getting jumped on by Mini. He has to back off as the Pulse Bomb comes out, immediately takes him out. Now Tig, unfortunately, kills himself, and so KSF, now with no pressure in the backline, getting free shots off, takes off JKW. You guys get paid, we'll hold on for now. 36% on the board and counting, and now Casper has got little room to work with. He might want to swap off at this point, but what do you go to on the side of Tempo Storm to try and deal with this?
Well, I mean, at this point, you have a couple of options. I mean, I think at this point you just stay. I mean, really, if you get an opening pick on this Widow when you have the advantage, given the fact that you have the ult, which is what he's doing right here, all you have to do is try to take the advantage, try to take this kill, and he didn't land the headshot there, which would have been big, because that would have given them the advantage. He would have had that ability to just basically create a little bit of a high ground advantage, and they would have been able to find those picks, but that's not going to be the case, as he's not able to find those kills. And honestly, I think that is the biggest reason why he should swap off. But there he goes. It does find the pick. And every time I talk about a Widowmaker, man, they just pop off right after that.
But Transcendence coming out from Mr. Squishy is going to allow them to just clean up this team fight. No problem whatsoever. Casper even jumps onto the point to get that reset. And now it's coming down to this final team fight. 87, 88% on the board on the side of You Guys Get Paid. And take a look at the aggressive standing coming out from them. They are pushing up on to that spawn right now. Mini just in a race for his life, trying to get onto the point to keep this alive. But he gets taken out by Beast Halo. Now it is getting contested as JKW comes in with that sound barrier. But Space cleaning up Hooey. Now we do have that Orb of Discord out on the side, but it's not going to work out quite yet as JKW does go down. KSF once again on that Widowmaker, free headshot onto Cozy, takes him out, and it looks like You Guys Get Paid are going to be able to secure this second point. Mini has respawned, but he's just delaying the inevitable, and it is going to be You Guys Get Paid taking the second point here on Ilios.
So 2 times in a row, 2 rounds in a row, You Guys Get Paid has come back, and Tempo Storm, I mean, just throwing away such a convincing lead. And now this is a match and series point here as You Guys Get Paid look to close this out and get potentially what will be their first win so far of the group stage, and taking down Tempo Storm, who's again just trying to keep their playoff berth chances alive.
Man, things are not looking good so far for Tempo Storm. This victory would just give them a nice buffer, but I think it might just come down to FaZe versus Tempo just to see actually who gets that 4th place coming out. No teams actually going for the pharmacy as the gates do open on up here.
And we will see KSF right now looking to go ahead and try to find some target to work with, and they do actually pick out the Winston there as Mini falls back with virtually no HP at all, and the follow-up there is from Moffett as he finds the kill. Dreamcaster to trade that one, and it's now 1-for-1 on both sides, 5v5 for the point as the control point is now unlocking here, Jamerson.
Yeah, and it's gonna go in favor so far for You Guys Get Paid, as we do have Yumasui try to jump on a contest, but he gets cleaned up by Beast Halo. And man, Space coming alive on this Soldier 76. He's already at 73% towards his ultimate. On the flip side, Casper's only at 50 right now, as he is able to back away and regroup with his team.
And now, I mean, so far, You Guys Get Paid haven't lost control once they've gotten it, if I'm not mistaken. So certainly in a good position to be able to close this one out. If that will stay true, we'll have to see. Moffett able to find the kill off on Tig, and we do see Huey actually taken down fairly low as well. Space should be able to find that kill, but actually doesn't. Moffett going to be able to secure one of his own. And again, this aggression from You Guys Get Paid. They just are all over this, creating team wipes off of nothing. I mean, they have used nothing here, Jamerson, to be able to secure all these team fights. And now they're at almost 50% here with just so many options in terms of the ultimate economy here.
And no ultimates built up quite yet. I think Tig just had that pulse bomb, but here we go. Tactical Visor along with that Tranquility Transcendence getting popped. Space pushes forward, gets the kill onto Kosti. The back line, though, it looks like Tracer and Genji were able to get it on the side of Tempo Storm, so they will be able to get the back cap. But during that entire time, their team just dies out. And so now Yumasui tries to back away, but he's running into the rest of Tempo, or excuse me, of You Guys Get Paid at this point. It's going to be Space that cleans that up with that Helix rocket, and they saved themselves about 13% there. But again, at this point, You Guys Get Paid going largely uncontested. It's 67, 70% on the board. They have so many ultimates to work with. This is You Guys Get Paid's game to lose. Moffett is able to get the pulse bomb, and Yumasui just pulling off the Iron Giant there, making sure he sacrifices himself and the rest of his team doesn't get caught up in that.
But still great positioning now, as it is going to make this be one last fight here as You Guys Get Paid looks to try to shut out Tempo Storm on Ilios, as it's again that last fight. Psycho Waffle opening things up with the sound barrier, and Space now just in a great position. We do see Cozy once again with the Transcendence. Dreamcasper needs to get this tac visor out and really make good use of it. KSF all up in his face is going to be killed off, but Moffett going to be able to secure the kill of his own, and Space now again jumping onto the point. We see the Primal Rage being pulled out as well, and Many looking to secure this. They do finally flip it, but again, I mean, You Guys Get Paid is at 99%. If they win one fight, I mean, this is over, Jamerson.
Yeah, that was just sheer desperation coming out on the side of Tempo Storm there, and things looked bad initially as Beast Halo was actually able to knock off Cozy with that Primal Rage. He had just used his Transcendence there, took him out of the equation, but they fought back, corner to cat at this point on the side of Tempo Storm as they are scrapping back into this 40% on the board to get the kill onto Moffin, and that's a great way to start off this fight, Purix.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing the Tech Visor come up here for space, but he's getting contested now by Hui. And now Hui going to be able to secure that kill, I believe, off of the deflect that came from the orb coming from the Zenyatta. But we do see Tempo Storm holding on. And interestingly enough, what we've seen so far is whoever gets the first point actually loses the map.
Yeah.
And it might actually happen once again here, but we'll have to see as we have a couple more opportunities to see you guys get paid. Try to flip this one back over. Mr. Squishy with that Transcendence. Certainly, the Transcendence has done a lot here for the opposition. But Space now, with the Attack Visor coming out, they're looking to find some kills. They do find the one on Mini there.
Oh man, Transcendence even getting committed on the side of you guys get paid. This is just the last fight they need to win, and already it's all down to Casper. He's got the Tactical Advisor, but no. 6v1, not able to do it. That's going to be you guys get paid, getting their first and final win here in Group B.
And that's going to be it, too, for us. I mean, really great performance from you guys get paid to be able to get their first win on the board. Again, it doesn't mean anything from them, but it does mean a lot in terms of the group standings. And I think it does mean a little bit to them in terms of just their own morale, how they are performing as a team, because the first 4 games that we saw certainly weren't all that great. They were able to look a little bit better in their last 3, especially since picking up KSF, but we'll have to see in their future. I mean, certainly not with us, at least for the time being, as they do fall out of the group stage regardless. But if we head on back over, I mean, certainly some really good performances throughout today. Rogue sitting atop things at the moment as they are able to pull out 2-0s against both Liquid and you guys get paid. And then, of course, we saw you guys get paid just a moment ago, taking on Tempo Storm. And they did wind up taking that 2-1 after a honestly, pretty convincing set on Ilios, which you guys get paid actually performed quite well against Rogue on as well, despite the fact that it was a 3-1 on that particular map.
Yeah, and so, like you had mentioned, sitting on top of the leaderboard, it is going to be Rogue with the 4-0. Team Liquid now at 3-1. I believe Luminosity have to play their final 2 games tomorrow, so they've got their doubleheader ready to go, and they're currently sitting on, I think, 3rd. Tempo Storm and FaZe Clan essentially just tied up here for this 4th place position, and it's just going to come down to that tiebreaker match tomorrow. So that's the one we're really going to have to keep an eye on, and it's pretty fitting that it's going to be the final match of the North America Group B play.
Yeah, so we had an interesting situation today in this last match where, I mean, there was a couple of different things that could have happened, but with the way that things turned out, it will come down to that match tomorrow between Tempo Storm and FaZe Clan to determine who actually will be moving into that last spot in the playoffs. So obviously a lot on the line there, and we'll have to see who is going to be able to come out ahead. Certainly still 2 games left for LG Loyal left to play here, as I believe they have to play, if I'm not mistaken, it's Liquid and Rogue that we'll be seeing them up against tomorrow. So just to take a quick look at what is going to be occurring, that is going to be the first game, LG Loyal versus Team Liquid. Second game moving over will be Rogue versus LG Loyal. And then the last one, of course, going to be that big one, I think, very impactful game there of FaZe Clan versus Tempo Storm. Now, certainly with 2 games left for LG Loyal here, as they are 2-1, things can also get kind of interesting in that department, but LG Loyal did manage to win out a pretty important matchup, which is 2 matchups, which is 2 wins over FaZe, and you guys get paid. So even if they lose their 2 games, they should secure that spot there in 4th place at the very least. So basically everybody in the top 3 right now is safe. It's just going to come down to who gets that last spot between Tempo Storm and FaZe Clan. And then, of course, just trying to get an eye for how LG Loyal is going to perform here. But that is going to be it from us. Jamerson, do you have anything else you want to say about today, maybe going into tomorrow as well?
I'm just really looking forward to FaZe versus Team Tempo Storm. I mean, that is the big decider map. Throughout both North American and European group stages, we've seen a lot of teams that weren't expected to make it into top four actually get there. And so it's almost, following that trend at this point. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, I am Jamerson. You can follow me along all the social medias at JetSet Jamerson. I had a fantastic time casting with you today, Hirix. I believe we'll be doing it again tomorrow.
Yep. We will definitely be back doing it again tomorrow. Again, I am at CT Hurix, so certainly head over and follow Jamerson, and then right after, go ahead and follow me on Twitter so that you guys know when the games are coming online tomorrow, as well as anything else that we're doing. And certainly, I mean, guys, come on, follow the channel here on Twitch so you know when the games go live. Follow Overwatch PIT as well on Twitter and anywhere else. Definitely check out their website as well, as there's a lot of good information about what's going on with this tournament. Of course, tomorrow is the last day of all of the group stages. It'll be NA Group B for day 5, and that will be the same time as today, which will be 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, which is about 2 hours and 45 minutes ago for people trying to convert that time to their own time zone. And again, I'm Hurix. With me is Jamerson, and we are now signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow.